All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Jan716 back here again, and today I want to quickly recap the game between the Houston Roughnecks against the Tampa Bay Vipers. And this is a game that I felt like was much needed as far as just the competitiveness of this game, as far as the Tampa Bay I was about to say Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Vipers, as far as them really at least struggling the last couple of games, at least finding a rhythm offensively. We all know that the Vipers can compete. But offensively, this is something that we just needed to see them get much into a rhythm of, and we saw that tonight, right? The Tampa Bay Vipers scored 27 points. I did not like what I saw from the quarterback. Just them at this point of the season, just keep rotating quarterbacks between Cornelius and Flowers. But obviously, you saw some playmakers rise for this football team in both the ground game and in the receiving game. And again, that Tampa Bay Vipers crowd, probably the lowest, probably, I would say around maybe 9 or 10,000 people were there, maybe more than that. But obviously, the Vipers competed very well, and I think that going forward, this could increase the attendance for the Tampa Bay Vipers, especially, again, that team is trying to really set themselves, try to really set the brand or really try to set the standard, at least because, of course, the Vipers, they're 0-2, at least going into this game. The Houston Roughnecks are 2-0. Again, the attendance numbers were not there as far as the other XFL teams. So for them to try to at least, have a game where they can compete and show the entire audience that's watching this game, hey, we're a team that's building, we're a team that's going to get better, and I felt like the Vipers definitely displayed that tonight, right? This was definitely the best game I felt like the Vipers played. Of course, this was the outcome of this game. They lost this game 34-27, and then again, part of it was due to the officiating. The officiating was garbage, but I'm going to address that in a second. But competing against a team like, with the Houston Roughnecks, with P.J. Walker and Cam Phillips and the rest of those guys that they have, especially on the defensive side of the ball, Tampa Bay, I think, really showed a lot of promise, and that was the most important part. Now, for the Houston Roughnecks, defensively, they should have done a lot better. We've seen this team really struggle defensively. I would say struggle. The first week was they played a pretty good game defensively. The second game was, you thought, okay, well, they're playing against a really, really good St. Louis Battlehawks team, right? Jordan Teamu is one of the best quarterbacks in the XFL. But now this is the third week. I understand that this is on the road, but, you're talking about a team that is 0-2, that has struggled to score. And, you're making this guy Cornelius and you're making some of these other players look a lot better. And, you take away some questionable calls like that pass interference call, which set Houston up to score a touchdown. Tampa Bay could have won this game, or the game could have went to overtime, and that would have looked really bad, at least on Houston's part, of, hey, they're not invincible. This team is very, very, this team can get beat by anybody. And, a lot of people are saying that, hey, with Houston Roughnecks and with P.J. Walker, this is a team that should be favored to win the championship. Well, after this outcome, even when they got the W, a lot of people are going to be looking at the Houston Roughnecks as a team that is just not that good, right? What we've seen the last couple of weeks defensively, I think this is what you're going to get, right? This is an okay defense. They have an explosive offense with a really dynamic player like P.J. Walker in the backfield. But overall wise, I mean, the team is just not invincible, right? DC looks like a more complete football team, right? As far as just playing, as far as being elite on both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. I think Houston has a lot more work to do if they want to get to that level. But this was overall wise a great game. I thought it was a great game. Now, is it the best game? I don't think it was the best game. I think that St. Louis and Houston last week was the best game that the XFL displayed so far. But this was definitely a great game, and we talked about the showcasing, right? The first game of the XFL, you're trying to draw in each and every single week, right? You're trying to draw in a new audience. And did the XFL, right? Did this game do a good job attracting a new audience to stay tuned and continue to watch the XFL? I thought it did. Honestly, I mean, like I said, the officiating was not good today. I did not like the officiating good today. Of course, ESPN, like they always do, right, with the reporters literally going in the players' faces, literally going into these players' faces and interviewing them like just almost every time. I mean, you guys know what I mean. I mean, the interviews that ESPN do are just it's out of hand. They need to calm down with that. Fox does a better job really doing it. They do a good job really controlling when they ask the players. All right, they don't do it every 2 seconds, right? Like ESPN does. But besides the officiating and the constant interviews that ESPN did, the game was great. We saw some good quarterback play. PJ Walker had one hell of a game. You're talking about a guy that had 300 yards. I think he's responsible for around 11 touchdowns. Cam Phillips is displaying himself as possibly the best receiver in the XFL. He almost had a 200-yard night. This was overall just a great game, right? Tampa Bay, right, with Cornelius and even Quentin Fowlers. We saw some big plays out of both those guys. Now, they need to stop rotating quarterbacks. They need to stop doing that. But overall wise, this was a great product of football, right? We saw some big hits. We saw some big plays. This was just an overall great game. And this is what the XFL wanted. This is what the product of the XFL is all about right here. Attracting a new audience, bringing excitement, but also bringing a balance. They're not there yet. They're not at that level. But again, right, it's February. It's the winter time. You're going into the spring. Right. Obviously, there's baseball season and of course, Major League Soccer is coming up, but football season's still here, right? Football season's still here, and you want to attract the majority of your football audience to watch your network. I feel like the XFL, at least for this game, did a great job, at least as far as showcasing what the league is all about. I felt like this is a definition of what the league's all about as far as what was on the football field, besides the officiating and the constant interviews that ESPN did. But overall wise, yeah, like I said, great game. Congratulations to the Houston Roughnecks, 3-0. Tampa Bay, I thought it was a great start, at least of trying to get it, as far as trying to get everything together. I know you guys are 0-3, but again, I liked the crowd that was there, bringing the energy late, especially when you guys were battling. You guys got to figure out your quarterback situation. If you can do that, then I think Tampa Bay could be a decent team. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. If you guys want more XFL coverage, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and also share the video. It really helps the channel a lot. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys, at least for right now. So next game, or the next video I'm going to be making pretty shortly, it will be about, I forgot who's playing. I'm sorry, I apologize. The Seattle Dragons. I know they're playing today against the Dallas Renegades. I'm sorry, that just came up, so I will be covering that game, and hopefully we can get a similar outcome like we did the last time. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. This is Gen 716. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Have a good night. Peace.